This right here is John Bernhardt.
And I'm Tyler Meal.
Alright, we'll be doing the before, aftermath of the assassination of Caesar. First thing is that the reason Caesar was assassinated is because of tensions with him and his Senate members. So that's the primary reason as to why Caesar was killed.
So Caesar, he basically saw himself as a guy which contributed to his death, and saw himself as this larger-than-life figure. And the people of Rome refer to him oftentimes as a king rather than an emperor.
There are many instances when people would refer to Caesar as Rex, which means king, and then Caesar would go on to reply, I am Caesar, not Rex.
Another thing Caesar did that his Senate didn't like is he kind of went away from the Republic and also looked for a lot more power to govern. And again, that didn't make his Senate too happy with him. Here's a picture.
So Caesar was planning on leaving the Parthian Empire, and this in turn led to the Romans forming a conspiracy to actually assassinate him, and they ended up going through with it.
Caesar's assassination took place in late March, and it was referred to as the Ides of March, and it took place in Pompey's Theater.
Alright, so Mark Antony, he learned about the plot the night before somehow, and then as Caesar was walking down the steps of the Forum, he tried to cut Caesar off and tell him that he was eventually going to be assassinated, but he was intercepted by a bunch of other people, and Caesar wound up fleeing away, and Mark Antony couldn't tell him.
So Caesar arrives, like we said, at Pompey's Theater, and he meets with the Senate and is pulled down by his tunic when he arrives there, and he screams out, "Why this violence?"
As Caesar's being pulled down, Casca grabs his dagger and tries to stab him, but Caesar grabs Casca's arm before he makes the stab, and no harm is done.
Alright, so after Casca attempted to stab Caesar, a bunch of other guys, including Brutus, came on over to attempt to stab him, and they laid a couple shots, but then so Caesar was trying to flee away, and he eventually tripped and fell because he was really bloody, probably couldn't see. So yeah, he fell down again, and again that let him get stabbed some more.
So as we mentioned, Caesar took a tumble, and he was stabbed 33 times by 60 different people.
Out of 33 total stab wounds, many sources indicate that there was only one stab that was actually fatal to Caesar. Here's a picture of him getting assassinated.
Alright, so here's this guy, Brutus. He was like one of Caesar's good friends and probably the main conspirator behind this whole thing. And Caesar was stabbed by Brutus in the chest, and it is said that Caesar's last words were "E tu Brute," which means "You too, Brutus" in Latin. And yeah, so that might have been the one that actually killed him.
So after Caesar's death, it marked the end of the Roman Republic, and this in turn enraged the lower class that really supported Caesar.
Caesar named Gaius Octavius, later known as Augustus, the sole heir of Rome.
Alright, so Octavian took over at age 18, and right after he took over, that immediately made him one of the wealthiest people in Rome.
So in history, we've noticed that Julius Caesar, he actually had an affair with this lady Cleopatra. After he was assassinated, Mark Antony actually went on and ended up marrying Cleopatra, and that's what we're going to conclude on.